Chosen one, you are bang on the money. Your intuition has been screaming the truth for weeks now. They did this out of jealousy and competition, but it runs much deeper than simple envy. Someone close to you couldn't handle your light, your gifts, or the effortless way blessings seem to find you. They mimicked your energy, mirrored your ideas, even tried to copy your path. Yet no matter what they did, the universe never gave them your results, because authenticity cannot be duplicated. What they meant for your downfall became divine confirmation of who you truly are. Protected, chosen, and destined to win regardless. Then you started noticing the drain. Not all at once, drop by drop, your energy began depleting. Your confidence started eroding. Your light started dimming. You would look at old photos and barely recognize the vibrant person you used to be. Something was feeding on you. Someone was siphoning your life force while you were trying to figure out why you felt so exhausted all the time. Jealousy existed around your physical presence, the way people responded when you walked into rooms, the natural magnetism you carried without effort. Every compliment you received felt like an attack to someone else. Every moment of attention you got reminded someone of their own inadequacy. So seeds started getting planted. Little comments disguised as concern, backhanded compliments that left you feeling worse, suggestions that maybe you were not as appealing as you thought. Jealousy existed around your income and career trajectory. Every win you had highlighted someone else's stagnation. Every opportunity that came to you reminded someone else that forward movement was not happening for them. Every promotion, every recognition, every achievement felt like a personal insult to another ego. And here is the part you suspected but could not prove. Action was taken. The feeling did not just exist, behavior followed. Negative words about your work reached people who mattered. Your competence got questioned in conversations you were not part of. Doubts about your abilities got planted with people who could affect your opportunities. Some of you just got chills because you have known this for so long. You knew something happened to your reputation. You knew certain doors closed that should have stayed open. You knew people started treating you differently, and you could not figure out why. Now you are getting confirmation. A campaign ran against you while a smile stayed on the face you trusted. But the jealousy went even deeper. Your spiritual power created a threat. Your intuition, your connection to something greater than the physical realm, your ability to see through lies, your capacity to feel energy, your gifts that operated in dimensions someone else could not access. This terrified because it was the one thing that could not be controlled or manipulated or taken from you. So attempts were made to disconnect you from your source. Your beliefs got mocked. You were made to feel stupid for trusting your gut. Your spiritual practices got dismissed as unnecessary. And while all this was happening, while you were being systematically diminished, someone else was in the picture. A third party you either did not know about or refused to believe was relevant to your experience. This person carried jealousy too. In fact, more threat might have been felt from you than from your actual betrayer. Your position was desired, your influence was wanted. The desire was to be you, and collaboration happened to make that possible. Behind closed doors, conversations about you took place. Your private information got shared. Strategies about how to keep you controlled got discussed. Ways to make you dependent got explored. Plans about how to ensure you never reached your full potential got plotted. You became the villain in a story written together. A bond formed over shared resentment of your light. There was an affair, or if not romantic, there was an intimate alliance between your betrayer and this third party that went beyond professional or casual friendship. Something was being received from each other: support, validation, a shared mission to diminish you. And that connection, that bond formed, was built on competition with you. This third party did not just dislike you. Active work happened against you. The desire existed for your relationships to fail. The hope lived for your career to stall. The wish remained for your reputation to be damaged. If you were in a romantic relationship with your betrayer, this third party wanted the breakup. If you were starting to build something new, the desire was for collapse. Something about stopping a union from happening or preventing a partnership from strengthening drove behavior. The idea of you winning could not be handled. And the betrayal was not just emotional, it touched your finances. Some of you need to look into old money situations, check tax records, check old business dealings, check agreements you signed. You are owed something. Money got moved or hidden or taken in ways you are only beginning to understand. Something happened with your resources while you were too drained from emotional warfare to notice or fight back. Your health deteriorated when you were with this person. Remember how you used to look, how vibrant and alive. Compare that to how you looked at the end, like your life force had been drained, like someone had been feeding off your energy for their own survival. This was not accidental. This was not just the stress of a difficult relationship. This was systematic energy theft. Leeching was happening, and if this third party knew anything about manipulating energy, methods might have been used that you have not even considered yet. But here is where the experience shifts. Here is where your power comes in. You started waking up, not because permission was granted, because you are a chosen one, and chosen ones do not stay asleep forever. You began pulling away, creating distance, protecting your energy, guarding your information, and the shift got felt. Control started slipping. The power dynamic was changing. You were becoming unreachable, so panic happened. Love bombing appeared. Promises got made that had never been made before. Suddenly the person you had always needed showed up. But it was too late. Once a chosen one sees behind the veil, there is no unseeing it. Once you feel the truth in your bones, you cannot unfeel it. Once you wake up, you do not go back to sleep. You made a choice. Maybe you have not fully executed it yet, but you made it. You chose yourself. You chose truth over comfort. You chose freedom over familiar toxicity. And in that moment, something shifted in the spiritual realm. Because every time a chosen one chooses themselves, the universe responds. Mountains move, doors open, paths clear. What was hidden starts coming to light. But peaceful departure was not allowed. It could not be. Your absence revealed the emptiness that had been getting projected onto you. Without you to blame, without you to make feel small so someone else could feel big, without you to feed from, self-confrontation had to happen, and that could not be handled. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. So watching is happening now, not openly, from shadows, through social media, through mutual connections, through whatever channels still have access. The need exists to know if you are okay without them. The need exists to see if you are thriving or struggling. The need exists to know if losing them affected you, the way losing you affected them. And here is what is being discovered. Here is what is breaking someone. You are healing. You are glowing. You are leveling up without them. You are thriving in ways you never could when someone was in your space. And this realization is destroying, because the assumption was that you were necessary. The belief existed that you needed them. The expectation was that without them, you would fall apart. But the opposite happened. Without them, you became whole. Score was being kept, not casually, obsessively. Every time you posted something positive on social media, a mental note got made. Every time someone complimented you in a group setting, cataloging happened. Every time you achieved something someone else had not, it got added to an invisible ledger of resentments. This was not love with occasional jealousy. This was competition disguised as connection. You thought you were sharing your life with someone who cared. Someone else thought a race was being lost. Every win you had became evidence of inadequacy. Every opportunity you received became proof of not being good enough. Every moment of your shine became a spotlight on shadows. And instead of being happy for you the way genuine people are, instead of celebrating your growth the way real supporters do, internalization happened as a personal attack. When you got recognition at work, the subject changed quickly, or a comment appeared that diminished it. When you received a compliment about your appearance, a way got found to point out a flaw later. When you talked about your goals with excitement, reminders came about all the reasons those goals might not work out. Systematic conditioning was happening to make you stop shining so someone else could feel better about staying dim. The competition extended to areas you did not even realize were battlegrounds. Your friendships became threats. Anyone who celebrated you too much, anyone who supported you too strongly, anyone who saw your value too clearly, distance got created between you and those people. Subtle comments would question those friendships. Drama got created that made maintaining those connections difficult. Positioning happened as the only person who truly understood you, while simultaneously working to ensure you had no one else. Your independence was an enemy. Every skill you developed that made you more self-sufficient was a threat to control. Every time you handled something on your own that you used to need help with, slipping away got felt. Every moment you demonstrated competence, importance diminishing got felt. So situations got created where you needed them. Simple things got complicated. Your confidence in your own capabilities got undermined. The desire was for dependency, because dependency meant power remained. Your spiritual growth terrified more than anything else. When you started meditating, when you started trusting your intuition more, when you started talking about energy and consciousness and higher purpose, movement into territory that could not be followed got felt. Your spiritual expansion was taking you to places that could not be reached, showing you truths that could not be seen, connecting you to wisdom that could not be accessed. And that separation was intolerable. So your spiritual foundation got attacked in ways that seemed reasonable at the time. The validity of your experiences got questioned. Suggestions appeared that you were being manipulated by spiritual concepts. You were made to feel foolish for believing in things beyond the physical realm. The desire was for you to abandon your connection to Source, because that connection was the one thing making you unreachable by manipulation. Competition was not just with who you are now. Competition existed with who you might become. Your potential got seen before you fully saw it yourself. Your trajectory got recognized before you were conscious of where you were heading. And that future version of you, the one who would fully step into power and purpose and abundance, that version created terror. Because awareness existed that the future version would not tolerate mistreatment. That version would not accept manipulation. That version would not stay in toxic dynamics, trying to fix broken people. That version would see through facades immediately and walk away without a second thought. So that version had to be stopped from emerging. You had to be kept stuck in the version that still doubted yourself, still people-pleased, still gave endless chances. Every time you almost leveled up, a crisis got created. Every time you were about to make a major move, drama got manufactured that consumed your energy. Every time you were close to a breakthrough, a breakdown got introduced. This was not coincidence. This was strategy. A fight was happening against your becoming with everything available, because your becoming meant losing. Look back at the timeline if you can bear to. Notice how many times you were right on the verge of something significant, and suddenly behavior escalated. Notice how many opportunities you postponed or declined, because someone needed you, or an emergency got created, or guilt appeared for prioritizing yourself. Notice how many times your dreams got delayed because someone else's problems became your focus. Your future was being stolen in real time. Not just your present energy, but your future possibilities. Every delayed dream was time you could not get back. Every missed opportunity was a door that closed forever. Every moment you spent managing chaos was a moment you were not spending building your empire. And awareness existed about exactly what was happening. The third party understood this dynamic too. That is why alignment happened with your betrayer. Vested interest existed in keeping you exactly where you were. If you stayed in that toxic situation, benefit happened for both. Your betrayer kept supply, mirror, scapegoat. The third party kept position, access, ability to operate without your interference. Your stagnation served both agendas. The desire exists not just for what you have. The desire exists to be you while simultaneously destroying you. Your essence is wanted, your energy, your magic, but the desire also exists for you to not have it anymore. It is a twisted paradox. Absorption of your light is attempted while snuffing it out at the same time. You felt this in your body, the exhaustion that sleep could not fix, the depletion that rest could not restore, the heaviness that nothing could lift. That was not depression in the clinical sense, though attempts might have been made to convince you it was. That was energetic vampirism. Feeding was happening on your life force, your creativity, your passion, your power. Taking was happening of what could not be generated independently. And here is the insidious part. Your own energy was being used against you. Draining would happen, then criticism would come for being tired. Your creativity got taken, then mockery appeared for not producing more. Feeding happened on your emotional availability, then shaming came for being emotionally exhausted. The very problems getting complained about were being created. Your health issues during that time were not random. Stress manifests physically, yes, but there is more to it than that. When someone is constantly attacking your energetic field, when someone is perpetually taking from your resources, when someone is regularly creating chaos in your space, your body responds, your immune system weakens, your vitality drops, your physical presence starts reflecting the spiritual warfare you are under. Some of you dealt with mysterious symptoms that doctors could not fully explain. Some of you had chronic issues that suddenly appeared and stubbornly persisted. Some of you felt like you were aging rapidly or losing your vitality. That was not just stress, that was the physical manifestation of spiritual attack. Your body was trying to tell you what your mind was still rationalizing away. And the moment you created distance, the moment you started protecting your energy, the moment you began cutting that cord, your health started improving. That is not coincidence, that is confirmation. Your body knew what your mind was still trying to deny. Your physical self was responding to the energetic shift before your conscious self fully understood what was happening. Jealousy did not just exist about your income. Active interference happened with it. Some of you had opportunities to fall through at the last minute and never understood why. Something got said, a seed of doubt got planted. Your reliability or your capability got questioned to the wrong person at the wrong time. Some of you had business ideas stolen. Not obviously, taking did not happen of your concept while running with it in front of your face. Sharing happened with someone else like it was original. Your vision got pitched to people who could fund it without giving you credit. What you created in confidence got used for advancement or to help someone in a network who was not you. Some of you had money go missing in ways you could not quite track. Shared accounts with unexplained withdrawals, loans you co-signed that never got paid back. Investments made in your name that somehow benefited someone else more than you. Money promised that never materialized. Debts attributed to you that were not entirely yours. Financial entanglements that left you worse off while someone else came out ahead. Check your records if you have not already. Look at old bank statements. Review old contracts. Examine agreements you signed when you trusted completely. You might find things you missed when you were in the fog of manipulation. You might discover money that is actually owed to you. You might uncover financial moves that you never fully understood at the time. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology. The same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition, and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. The universe is bringing restoration, but you have to be willing to look. You have to be willing to investigate. You have to be willing to ask questions and demand answers about things you previously let slide, because confronting them felt too hard, or because you were made to feel greedy for even caring about money. Money is energy. Financial sabotage is energetic warfare. When interference happened with your income, interference was happening with your ability to be independent. When financial instability got created, dependence was being created. When entanglement happened in financial mess, ensuring you could not easily walk away was happening. This was calculated. This was control. This was competition taken to levels that most people cannot even fathom. The smear campaign was real. Stop doubting that. Stop telling yourself you are being paranoid. Speaking about you happened to people you knew and people you did not. A narrative got crafted about you that painted someone else as the victim and you as the problem. Selective truths got told that sounded like complete truths but left out crucial context. Private information got shared that made you look bad while leaving out information that would have made someone else look worse. Here is how sophisticated it was. Bad-mouthing did not just happen to everyone. That would have been too obvious. Strategy existed. Key people whose opinions mattered got identified. People who had influence in your professional circles. People who were connected to your opportunities. People who could affect your reputation in ways that would have lasting impact. Those were the people who got targeted first, and presentation did not happen as gossip. Presentation happened as concern. Worry about you got expressed. Observations about your behavior got shared that seemed to come from a place of care, but were actually character assassination. The appearance got created of being the long-suffering partner, or friend or family member, who was trying their best with someone who was difficult, unstable, unreliable, or problematic. Some of you lost connections and never knew why. People who used to engage with you suddenly became distant. Opportunities you should have been considered for somehow went to others. Invitations stopped coming. Networks you had built seemed to dissolve, and you blamed yourself. You thought you had done something wrong. You thought you were the problem, but you were not. You were the target. The third party participated in this too. Voice got added to the narrative. Confirmation happened of the stories your betrayer was telling. Evidence got provided that supported the false narrative. The role got played of objective observer, who reluctantly agreed that yes, you were indeed the problem everyone needed to be cautious about. Two voices saying the same thing is much more believable than one. Awareness existed about this. Use happened of it. Truth has a way of emerging. Not immediately, not always in the time frame you want. But eventually, people who believed the lies are starting to see inconsistencies. People who cut you off are beginning to question why. People who heard only one side are now hearing other perspectives. The reputation someone tried to destroy is rebuilding itself stronger than before, because it is now built on truth instead of on approval. You need to understand something crucial about why you became the target of such intense jealousy and competition. It was not random. It was not bad luck. It was not because you did anything wrong. You became the target because you possessed something rare. Something got recognized even if you did not fully see it in yourself yet. You carry a frequency that threatens mediocrity. Just by existing in your authentic state, you challenge people to be better. You inspire growth without trying. You make people confront their own stagnation simply by moving forward. You reflect possibilities back to people that someone convinced them were impossible. And for insecure people, for people who have built identity around limitations, your existence is destabilizing. Your potential to outgrow someone got seen. Recognition existed that you were meant for bigger things than the small world that got created. Understanding existed that you would not stay stuck forever. Awareness lived that you were just beginning to scratch the surface of what you are capable of. And that created terror because it meant eventually you would see clearly. Eventually you would recognize the dynamic for what it was. Eventually you would leave, and that inevitability could not be handled. So attempts were made to stop your evolution before it fully began. Attempts were made to convince you that you were already at your ceiling. Attempts were made to make you believe that where you were was as good as it gets. Attempts were made to install limiting beliefs that would keep you contained. The desire was for you to accept a smaller version of life, so you would stay accessible, so you would remain controllable, so you would never fully realize what you were settling for. Now we are getting to the core, the real reason behind everything, the truth that unlocks the entire pattern. You mirrored something. You reflected something that could not be faced about self. Every time someone looked at you, their own wounds got seen, their own insecurities, their own shame staring back at them. And instead of doing the inner work to heal those wounds, a decision got made that you were the problem. A decision got made that if breaking you down could happen, if making you smaller could happen, if convincing you that you were the broken one could happen, then self-confrontation would not have to happen about their own brokenness. There is a door inside them, a door that got sealed shut a long time ago. Behind that door is trauma that has never been processed, pain that has never been acknowledged, truth that has never been willing to be faced. And you, just by being yourself, just by standing in your authentic power, just by having access to your spiritual gifts, you were a key trying to open that door. And hatred existed for that. This is why celebration could not happen of your success, because your success reminded someone of failure. This is why support could not happen for your dreams, because your dreams reminded someone of abandoned potential. This is why honor could not happen for your light, because your light illuminated darkness. You were not the problem. You were the mirror, and what you reflected could not be handled. The third party felt this too. Their own inadequacies got seen reflected in your presence. Everything wanted to be but was not got seen. Everything wanted to have but did not got seen. And instead of using that as motivation to grow, justification got used to destroy. Trauma bonding happened with your betrayer over shared resentment of you. Two broken people feeding each other's worst impulses instead of helping each other heal. And here is the twisted part. Here is what makes this whole thing so dark. Remorse does not exist. Not real remorse. Regret exists, but not because hurt happened to you. Regret exists because access to you got lost, supply got lost, mirror got lost. The person who made someone feel important by needing them got lost. Emotions are not about you as a whole person. Emotions are about what you provided. Patterns cannot help but repeat. What happened to you is now happening to someone else. Maybe the new person in their life. Maybe the third party is experiencing it now that you are gone. Maybe someone new in a professional circle is getting targeted. The mask always slips. The pattern always shows itself. The behavior always repeats, and people are noticing. Dots are getting connected. Realization is happening that the common denominator in all drama is them, not everyone else who has gotten blamed. The narrative that got built is crumbling because a false image can only be maintained for so long before cracks become canyons. Your silence has been more powerful than any defense you could have mounted. Fighting back publicly did not happen. Your own smear campaign did not get launched. Dragging did not happen the way you got dragged. You simply removed yourself and focused on your own healing and growth. And that silence spoke volumes to people who were paying attention. Because here is what your silence communicated. Security existed enough in your truth that convincing anyone was not needed. Focus existed enough on your future that energy was not wasted on the past. Healing existed enough in yourself that validation was not needed from people who believed lies. Your silence was dignity. Your absence was power. Your focus was victory. You were never the problem. You were the solution that could not be accepted. You were never too much. You were exactly enough, and that created a threat. You were never the broken one. You were the mirror showing cracks. That door we talked about at the beginning, the one you were afraid to open, you have walked through it now. You have seen the full truth. You have felt the complete betrayal. You have understood the systematic nature of what happened to you. And on the other side of that truth, you found something that was never expected you would find. Power. Not the power to hurt back. Not the power to expose. Not the power to prove anything. The power to be completely unbothered by their existence. The power to build a life so authentic and abundant that betrayal becomes irrelevant. The power to trust yourself so completely that no one can gaslight you again. The power to protect your energy so fiercely that toxic people cannot even get close enough to try. That third party who worked with your betrayer does not matter anymore. Whatever happened, whatever got said, whatever got tried, it failed. You are still here, still standing, still growing, still ascending. Jealousy revealed your value. Competition proved your worth. Attacks confirmed your calling. The financial restoration you are owed is flowing now, not because you are chasing it, because the universe settles its accounts. The reputational restoration you deserve is unfolding, Not because you are defending yourself, because truth does not need defense. It just needs time. The emotional restoration you have been healing into is solidifying. Your nervous system feels safe again. Your sleep is peaceful. Your days are lighter. This is what could never be understood. This is what jealousy blinded someone from seeing. Your destiny was always bigger than small-minded competition. Your purpose was always deeper than surface-level games. Your calling was always stronger than attempts to silence it. Fighting you was never really happening. Fighting destiny was happening, and destiny always wins. You are a chosen one, not because you are perfect, because you are purposeful, not because you are special, because you are specific, specifically designed for a mission that required you to go through hell and come out holding fire, specifically called to break patterns, set standards, and show others what is possible when you refuse to settle. Everything meant for your destruction became the foundation of your reconstruction. Every wound inflicted became wisdom you now carry. Every tear you cried watered the seeds of your future. Every moment you almost gave up became proof that you are stronger than you ever knew. Someone thought your ending was being written. Your beginning was being set up. So here you stand, on the other side of betrayal, on the other side of systematic sabotage, on the other side of jealousy-driven attacks, on the other side of third-party interference, on the other side of financial theft, on the other side of reputational damage, on the other side of spiritual warfare. Still standing, still whole, still powerful, still you. The puzzle is complete now. Every piece in place. The picture it reveals is not what happened to you. It is who you became through it. Unbreakable, unshakable, undimmable, unstoppable. This is your experience, not of survival, of dominance, not of recovery, of ascension, not of moving on, of moving up. You were bang on the money about everything, every suspicion confirmed, every intuition validated, every red flag justified, and now you know exactly what to do with that confirmation. Not carry it as weight, wear it as armor, not hold it as hurt, transform it into power, not analyze it endlessly, activate from it decisively. Your time is now, not eventually, not someday, not when you are fully healed. Now, in this moment, with everything you know, with everything you survived, with everything you became, this is your season of restoration, recognition, and reign. This is your chapter of abundance, authenticity, and authority. This is your moment to take everything someone tried to steal and multiply it. Walk forward like you own every space you enter, because you do. Speak like your words carry weight, because they do. Choose like you trust yourself completely, because you should. Love like you know your worth, because you do. Build like you know it is your time, because it is. Shine like nothing can dim you anymore, because nothing can. You are not the person the puzzle started with. You are the masterpiece the puzzle revealed. Every piece of pain perfectly placed to create this moment of power. Every fragment of brokenness precisely positioned to forge this version of wholeness. Every shard of betrayal specifically shaped to build this level of breakthrough. Someone did this out of jealousy and competition, but you turned it into destiny and domination. That is the difference between chosen ones and everyone else. We do not just survive what breaks others, we become unstoppable because of it. Welcome to the other side. Welcome to your power. Welcome home. Chosen one. What they just found out about you has them spazzing out on somebody, and it shows in the chaos unfolding around them. Someone just uncovered the truth of who you really are, and their entire reality is cracking under the weight of that revelation. Right now, they're confronting people they once trusted blindly, and the pain they're feeling, it's coming from realizing you weren't lost accidentally. Now the questions are flying. Why did you tell me that? Why did you push me away from someone who never harmed me? The house of cards is collapsing, and the truth is louder than ever. This individual convinced your person that you weren't trustworthy, made every move you made seem questionable, twisted situations to paint you in the worst possible light. The manipulation was so effective that your person started seeing you through a completely distorted lens. Problems appeared where none existed, Evidence was built against you based on manufactured stories. Eventually, mistreating you felt justified because in their mind, reasons existed. Evidence existed. Other people confirmed the twisted perspective, but here's what the manipulator didn't count on. Truth always surfaces eventually. Right now, everything is spilling into the open like a dam breaking. Your person is discovering that this manipulator was spreading outright lies, making up stories from nothing, perhaps even impersonating you, or twisting your words to create drama. The manipulation ran deeper than anyone realized. Looking back now, your person can't believe how easily the deception was swallowed, but it happened. Choosing to trust lies over direct experience with you seemed reasonable at the time. The motivation behind it all is now crystal clear. This manipulator either wanted your person for themselves, was competing with you directly, or simply couldn't stomach watching someone else experience happiness. Whatever the reason, this individual deliberately destroyed the best thing in your person's life. Now confrontations are happening. Arguments are volcanic. The manipulator is scrambling. Some responses are defensive, doubling down on lies. Some attempt to shift blame elsewhere. Some finally admit pieces of truth while making pathetic excuses. None of it is working. Your person sees clearly now. But the twist nobody anticipated is still unfolding. This manipulator isn't just losing influence. Other people are starting to come forward with their own testimonies. Additional truths keep emerging. What's being revealed is making your person question every single aspect of their entire social circle. Your person is also discovering something that makes the betrayal even deeper. This manipulator had been planning the sabotage longer than anyone realized. This wasn't spontaneous jealousy or impulsive interference. Old messages are being found now where seeds were already being planted before problems even existed in your relationship. Doubt was being created where none had reason to exist. This person was positioning themselves as the trusted advisor who would eventually lead your person away from you. Now, while your person goes after the main manipulator, something else is happening simultaneously. The people who enabled all this destruction are turning on each other. When you enable someone to destroy a blessing, you create a spiritual debt. That debt is coming due right now. These enablers are facing their own consequences. Some are being exposed for their participation in spreading lies. Others are losing credibility rapidly. Some are getting cut off completely. Your person is having explosive confrontations with people who used to be inner circle. These enablers don't know how to handle being held accountable. The assumption was that co-signing toxic behavior would have no repercussions. The belief was that helping tear you down would face no consequences. That assumption was wrong. A particular dynamic is playing out that makes everything messier. Some of these enablers are actually manipulators themselves. Flying monkeys weren't just doing someone else's bidding. Personal agendas existed. Keeping your person confused and making bad choices served their purposes somehow. Now these people are being exposed too. The discovery is shocking. Your person was surrounded by enemies disguised as friends, people who smiled while plotting behind backs, people who pretended to want the best while actually working against happiness and peace. Here's what makes narcissistic enablers particularly dangerous. Receipts are kept on everybody. All the dirt is known. Every game has been witnessed. When thrown under the bus, no problem exists with taking others down too. Right now, secrets are spilling everywhere. Hidden things are coming to light. Your person is in absolute shock at the level of betrayal discovered, but what's really crushing is this realization. You tried to warn about these people. Inconsistencies were pointed out by you. Motives were questioned by you. Trust in direct experience was requested over believing what others were saying, and you were dismissed, called paranoid, accused of being jealous or controlling when really you were just seeing clearly. Protection was being offered for what you were building together. Love was being expressed through uncomfortable truths, and everything you offered was thrown back in your face. Liars were chosen over someone who genuinely had best interests at heart. That awareness is crushing right now. The realization that someone existed in their corner, who could see what they couldn't, is devastating. Someone tried to save them from people who meant harm, and not only was that help rejected, you were made into the enemy for trying. Some mistakes carry permanent consequences. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. While chaos explodes in their world, information is reaching them about you that's absolutely destroying their ego. You're not broken. You're not sitting around waiting. You're actually flourishing in ways that can't be denied. Maybe a picture was seen where your glow is undeniable. Maybe word came through connections that new opportunities are being pursued. Maybe someone mentioned that you're with someone new. However the information arrived, one thing is crystal clear. You're not just okay without them. You're genuinely better. Thriving in ways that prove their absence created space for expansion. This realization hits like a freight train. In their mind, you were supposed to fall apart. Devastation was supposed to be visible. Suffering was supposed to prove their value and importance. That would have validated ego. But you're showing something completely different. That pain was taken and transformed into power. While games were being played and excuses were being made, real work was happening on your end. Wounds were healed, shadows were faced, generational patterns were broken. The person you've become will never accept dysfunction again. Evolution happened. Others stayed stuck. The contrast is undeniable. The same toxic people still provide the surrounding environment. The same mistakes keep getting repeated. The same demons are still being avoided. Meanwhile, complete transformation has occurred in your life. Elevation happened. Upgrading into a version of yourself that's barely recognizable took place. This is simultaneously intimidating and attractive. Access to that energy is wanted again. Your presence is craved. Another chance is desired. But awareness exists that worthiness is absent. The version that lost you would just lose you again. Outgrowing has been complete. The you that exists now wouldn't tolerate for 1 second the treatment given to the old you. Leveling up happened in ways that make their current state look pathetic by comparison. Energetically, this can be felt. The sensing is real, that genuine release has occurred. Happiness without them exists. Their opinion no longer matters because worth is fully known now. People who see you now are commenting on the change, how light you seem, how free, how at peace. This is devastating because the assumption existed that you needed them, that life would be diminished without them in it. The opposite proved true. Life expanded when they left. Space to breathe was created. Space to grow appeared. Space to become who you were always meant to be opened up. Now this person is stuck in a torturous cycle of comparing everything to what existed with you. If someone new is in the picture, that person isn't measuring up in any meaningful way. Conversations lack depth, connection feels shallow, energy is completely off. Going through motions happens, but nothing has real substance or meaning. Replacing something irreplaceable is the impossible task being attempted. Nobody talks to them the way you did. Understanding doesn't exist like you provided. Challenge to grow is absent compared to what you offered. Potential isn't seen in them the way you saw it. People surround them but complete loneliness is felt, because none of those people are you. Every single day begins in the void your absence created. A song plays that you loved and the gut punch is real. Passing a place you went together brings pain. Something funny appears and the instinct is to share it with you. But that's not possible anymore. You're not theirs to share with anymore. Moving on has happened. The belief existed that better could be found. The grass seemed greener somewhere else. Options needed to stay open. Now the lesson is learned. The best was already possessed and slipped away. Real gold was held and traded for fool's gold. Substance existed and superficial was chosen. Understanding arrives but too late. Waking up happens with regret. Going to sleep happens with regret. Every moment in between carries that weight. This isn't just missing you. This is knowing that something beautiful was destroyed by their own hands. Awareness exists that circumstances can't be blamed, timing can't be blamed, bad luck can't be blamed. Choices were made, actions were taken, words were said. Those decisions led directly to losing the best thing that ever happened. Specific moments are remembered now with painful clarity. Important conversations were attempted by you and shut down. Needs were expressed and dismissed. Big ways of showing up were offered. and not even acknowledged. Patience was given with flaws while nitpicking was received for yours. All of it plays on repeat. Seeing themselves through your eyes is happening now. Understanding emerges of how it must have felt to love someone who couldn't love back properly, to invest in someone who wouldn't invest equally, to fight for someone who wouldn't fight back, to believe in someone who wouldn't believe in you. That perspective shift brings the most painful humbling. The last interaction is thought about constantly. Final words exchanged. The energy everything was left on. If going back were possible, everything would be done differently. Humbling would happen. Sincere apology would be offered. Truth about how much you meant would be spoken. But going back isn't possible. Time only moves forward. Living with the fact that final impression was probably the worst must be done. This regret is compounded by watching forward movement happen in your life. Frozen in time, waiting for them is not your reality. Active building of a new life is occurring, where their relevance decreases daily. Soon just a closed chapter is all that will remain. A learned lesson, a memory that fades. The thought of being reduced to that in your mind while constant thinking about you continues is almost unbearable. Something breaks in a person when someone who brought out their best is lost. That breaking is happening right now. When you were present, evolution was occurring. Your energy pushed higher. Your standards created desire to rise and meet them. Your belief created self-belief. Potential you saw that couldn't be seen in themselves made becoming that person feel possible. Now that you're gone, backsliding is happening rapidly. Old patterns are being fallen into. Decisions the old version would make are being made again, like climbing a mountain with you, and when you left, stopping didn't happen, sliding back down did. The same people who keep them stuck provide the surrounding environment. The same behaviors that keep them broken are being engaged. The same internal work that would set them free is being avoided. Awareness of this exists. Regression is being witnessed in real time. But without you as catalyst for growth, motivation and accountability are absent. Looking in the mirror brings dislike for what's seen. Someone who had a blessing and squandered it. Someone who had love and rejected it. Someone who had a partner willing to build and chose chaos instead. That's a hard truth to face every single day. Understanding is dawning that this isn't about getting you back to feel better. Fundamental change in who they are is required, because the version that lost you will just lose you again if another chance is given. Complete transformation into someone different is needed, someone who recognizes value when seen, someone who protects what's precious instead of taking it for granted, someone who has done deep healing work to show up whole. But that kind of transformation takes time, effort, and commitment. Facing things about themselves that have been avoided for entire lifetimes is required. Getting help is necessary. Getting therapy is necessary. Getting real about patterns, traumas, and defense mechanisms is necessary. Most people aren't willing to do that work. Feeling better without changing is preferred. This person is at a crossroads trying to decide which path will be taken. Something is being understood now that was missed before. You didn't just walk away. You walked away with information, with insight, with truth about what was really happening. Remember how certain people were called out by you, how certain relationships were questioned, how something being off was sensed even when proof didn't exist. You were right about all of it. Every single suspicion is being confirmed now. Revelation happened through you, that someone was pretending, that someone was hiding true feelings, that someone was playing games. These concerns were brought to your person and dismissed. Being made to feel crazy for seeing what was obvious occurred. Gaslighting happened to make you doubt your own perception. But time has proven truth was being spoken the whole time. Your intuition was accurate. Your discernment was sharp. Seeing through masks before anyone else did was your gift. Now sitting with that knowledge is happening, and devastation is real. Someone existed who could see clearly when blindness prevailed. Someone tried to protect from harm. Someone loved enough to speak uncomfortable truths, and doubt and disrespect was the repayment given. Something else was revealed about character that wasn't wanted to be faced. Being capable of manipulation was shown. Being led astray was demonstrated. Choosing comfort over courage was proven. and being hated for holding up that mirror occurred. Being hated that going along with dysfunction wasn't happening occurred. Being hated for having standards that couldn't be met occurred. So making you the problem happened. Insecurities were projected onto you. A false narrative was created where you were the toxic one, when really just honesty was being asked for, consistency was being requested, protection of what was being built instead of letting outside voices tear it apart was being sought. That false narrative is collapsing now. Everyone can see who was really toxic, who was really difficult, who was really asking for too much. And it wasn't you. It was never you. You were the stable one, the healthy one, the one trying to build something real. Chaos came from them. Dysfunction came from them. Destroying something beautiful because maturity to handle it didn't exist came from them. Those enablers who help tear you down aren't just losing influence. Active exposure is happening, and things are getting messy. See, when people enable narcissistic behavior, they become flying monkeys. Dirty work gets done, lies get spread, false narratives get backed up, and blind participation happens, thinking someone cared about is being helped. But awakening is happening to something shocking. These flying monkeys weren't loyal to them. Loyalty existed to chaos. Investment existed in drama. Some were manipulators themselves, who saw opportunity to manipulate someone vulnerable. Now these flying monkeys are turning. Secrets are being told. Business is being exposed. Going back to old situations and spilling information is happening. True colors are showing in the most dramatic way possible. Shock is being experienced because these people were trusted. Confiding happened with them. Belief existed that backs were had. But deeper truth is being revealed. Some of these people were never on their side. Playing both sides was happening. Smiling while secretly working against them occurred. Now that everything is falling apart, exactly who they really are is being shown. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Major confrontations are happening with demands to know why. Why was lying done? Why was manipulation happening? Why was help given to destroy the best thing in life? Answers being received are revealing something sinister. These people didn't want happiness to exist. Healing wasn't desired. Healthy love wasn't wanted to be had. Maybe jealousy was the reason. Maybe competition drove it. Maybe just misery-loving company explained it. But whatever it was, active work to sabotage happiness occurred. The realization is crushing. Being surrounded by enemies disguised as friends is now understood. People trusted most were actually biggest threats is now known. This is why cutting people off is happening everywhere. Bridges are burning. Explosive fallouts are occurring. Because clear seeing is happening for the first time about who was really for them and who was just playing games. Most people in the circle were playing games. You hold all the power right now, not them, you. Chaos belongs to them. Regret fills them. Desperation to fix what was broken consumes them. Peace belongs to you. Healing happened for you. Moving on occurred for you. A good life without them was built by you. That means every card is held by you. Needing closure doesn't apply to you. That was gotten when walking away happened. Needing another chance doesn't apply to you. Plenty were already given. Needing to prove anything doesn't apply to you. Being strong enough to leave what doesn't serve was already proven. So if reaching out happens, you get to decide what happens next, not them, you. Terms get set by you. Boundaries get established by you. Whether conversation even occurs gets determined by you. Whatever you decide is right because it's your life, your peace, your future. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for protecting what was built. Don't let anyone guilt you into going backwards. Don't let anyone convince you that another chance is owed just because the light is finally being seen. Access isn't owed just because a mistake was realized. Second chances don't have to be given just because sorry is being said now. Being allowed to say no is your right. Being allowed to keep moving forward is your right. Being allowed to preserve peace is your right. And that's not cold, that's wisdom, that's self-preservation. That's honoring how far you've come and refusing to risk it for someone who already proved your value couldn't be recognized. Here's what most people won't tell you. Their breakdown is not a compliment to you. Proof of real love isn't being shown. Simply natural consequence of poor choices catching up is what's happening. Don't romanticize it. Don't let ego get fed by it. Don't interpret it as a sign another chance should be given. Real change gets proven over time through consistent behavior, not through emotional outbursts or grand declarations. Actions demonstrate real change, not words. Real change happens when internal work gets done, whether you're watching or not, whether coming back is happening or not, whether benefit in relation to you exists or not. Most people who reach out after situations like this haven't done that work. Just being uncomfortable and wanting relief from discomfort is what's happening. Feeling better is wanted. Easing guilt is wanted. Access to your energy again is wanted. But actually becoming the kind of person who deserves those things isn't wanted. But chosen one, something else is happening right now that awareness is needed for. While spiraling and discovering all these truths is occurring for them, something is shifting in the spiritual realm around you. Energy put into healing, into growth, into becoming your best self is creating a field around you that repels anything not aligned with your highest good. The manipulator who turned everyone against you is being fully exposed right now. What's coming out is worse than anyone imagined. Jealousy of the relationship wasn't the only motivation. Active trying to steal your person for themselves was happening, or working for someone else who wanted your person occurred, or some twisted agenda that went way deeper existed. The manipulation was calculated, strategic, intentional. Discovery of all of it is happening now. Messages are being found. Testimony from people who witnessed it is being heard. A timeline that makes everything make sense is being pieced together. All those times warning was attempted by you. Truth was being seen. All those concerns raised by you. Complete validity existed. All that intuition you had. Absolute accuracy was present. Ignoring you and choosing to believe the manipulator happened. That choice cost everything. Now sitting with proof that you were right all along is occurring. That protection was being attempted is clear. That loving enough to speak uncomfortable truths was happening, is understood, and everything was thrown back in your face. This is the moment of full revelation, where everything called out by you is being confirmed, where every suspicion is being validated, where the mask comes completely off and the whole picture is seen clearly, and destruction is being felt. You already knew, maybe not all the details, maybe not the full extent, but something being off was known. Your intuition was trusted. Your discernment was honored. Walking away before complete destruction could happen occurred. That's divine protection in action. The universe removed you from a situation that would have drained your light, delayed your purpose, damaged your spirit. Your departure wasn't a loss. A rescue mission occurred. Extraction happened before things could get worse, and worse was definitely coming. Discovery is also happening about behavior during difficult times you were experiencing. Maybe a family situation was occurring. Maybe a health challenge existed. Maybe a personal struggle was being faced. Something you could have used support for was happening. And instead of being there during that time, coldness was given, distance was maintained, criticism was offered, because the manipulator had convinced them you were the problem. So dealing with whatever was being gone through happened while also dealing with being mistreated by someone loved, and grace was still shown. That realization is breaking something fundamental. awareness that you were needed, and abandonment occurred, is devastating. Vulnerability existed, and being kicked while down happened. Battles were being fought that nothing was known about because too busy listening to lies to actually see you was the reality. Now, chosen one, let me tell you something about timing that you need to fully grasp. The fact that all this revelation is happening now, at this exact moment in your journey, is not random. This is divine orchestration at its finest. Think about it. If this truth had come out earlier, when you were still raw and wounded, what would have happened? You might have felt sorry for them. You might have seen their pain and forgotten about your own. You might have let their regret override your wisdom. You might have gone running back thinking things would be different. But now you're solid. Now you're clear. Now you're healed enough to witness their downfall without feeling the need to rescue them from themselves. Now you can see this situation for exactly what it is without getting emotionally entangled in their chaos. This is why the universe waited. This is why protection was happening even when it didn't feel like it. You were being prepared for this moment, strengthened for this revelation, positioned at a place where their crisis couldn't pull you backwards into old patterns. While all this exposure is occurring, while all these masks are coming off, while all this truth is spilling out, you're being elevated even higher. Every lie that gets revealed about what happened validates your intuition. Every manipulation that gets exposed confirms your discernment. Every flying monkey that shows their true colors proves you were right all along. This validation isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. It's the universe saying, I see you. I know what you went through. I know you were telling the truth. I know you were the one operating with integrity. And now everyone else is going to know it too. But the beauty is you don't even need that validation anymore. You've already moved on. You've already built a new life. You've already stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't require external confirmation of your worth. The validation is just a bonus, a cherry on top, a cosmic wink that says you were right to trust yourself. What's also happening is a clearing. Every person who gets exposed and cut off from their life is one less obstacle between them and potential growth. Every enabler who gets removed is one less voice feeding them lies. Every manipulator who gets revealed is one less energy draining their capacity to see clearly. In a twisted way, this breakdown might be the best thing that ever happens to them. Not because you should care, not because you should be invested in their growth, but because sometimes people need to hit rock bottom before they're willing to do the real work. Sometimes everything has to fall apart before rebuilding can begin. But here's what you need to remember. Their rock bottom is not your responsibility. Their rebuilding is not your project. Their growth is not your assignment. You already played that role. You already tried to help them see. You already offered love and support and patience, and it wasn't received the way it should have been. Now your only responsibility is to yourself, to your peace, to your purpose, to the beautiful life you're creating. Everything else is background noise. Everything else is someone else's lesson to learn. Everything else is part of a journey you're no longer walking. Somebody discovered the truth about you, and destruction is being felt, but that's not your concern anymore. That's not your experience. That's happening in your rearview mirror, while cruising forward to something infinitely better is your reality. Something most people can't do was done by you. Walking away from dysfunction even though love for the person existed happened. Choosing yourself even when hurt was felt. Honoring worth even when convincing you it didn't exist was being attempted. And that decision changed everything. While spiraling and arguing and sitting in regret is happening for them, peace is yours, building is happening, growing is occurring, thriving is your reality. The contrast tells the whole experience. The right choice was made. Everything gone through was preparation. Every tear watered seeds blooming now. Every moment of pain strengthened you for purpose. Every lesson equipped you for what's next. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was in vain. Everything mattered. Everything counted. Everything contributed to the masterpiece being created. The love meant for you is coming, and it's going to be with someone who recognizes your value from the beginning. Someone who protects what gets built together. Someone who is healed and shows up whole. someone who doesn't need to lose you to appreciate you, someone who sees you as the prize, not the option. Opportunities aligned with your purpose are going to present themselves. Doors are going to open that were closed before. Connections are going to form that elevate you. Resources are going to flow that support your vision. Everything being called in is on its way, and you're finally ready to receive it without self-sabotaging, without settling, without shrinking. Their meltdown, their regrets, their revelations, none of that has anything to do with your forward movement anymore. That's their lesson to live through, their growth journey to walk, their consequences to sit in. You're on a completely different path now, a path that leads to peace, purpose and fulfillment that was always meant for you. So let discovery of what was lost happen for them. Let sitting in the mess occur. Let arguing with enablers continue. Let facing truth proceed. All of that is behind you. Looking back is not your position. Looking ahead is your focus, and what's ahead is so much better than what was left behind. This is your time, your season, your moment. Everything experienced was building up to this. The breakdown led to the breakthrough. The ending created space for the new beginning. The loss revealed what you truly deserve. And now stepping into that reality with head high, heart open, spirit unshakable is happening. You survived what was meant to break you. You healed from what was meant to destroy you. You grew from what was meant to diminish you. And now standing in your power, in your truth, in your purpose, ready for everything the universe has been preparing for you, is your position. They can keep their chaos. They can keep their regrets. They can keep their revelations. You've got places to go, dreams to chase, a destiny to fulfill, and nothing and no one from your past can stop that. You are chosen. You are protected. You are guided. You are loved by forces greater than can be imagined, and your experience is just beginning. The best chapters are still unwritten. The greatest moments are still ahead. The most beautiful experiences are still waiting. So walk forward with confidence, trust the journey, honor your growth, celebrate how far you've come, and get ready for what's next, because chosen one, your time is now, and it's going to be magnificent. But before we close, let me leave you with this final truth. The energy you're radiating right now, the frequency you're operating on, the vibration you're holding, is magnetic. You're not just moving away from what wasn't meant for you. You're actively pulling toward you everything that is meant for you. People are going to start showing up in your life who match this new energy. Opportunities are going to present themselves that align with this new version of you. Doors are going to open that were locked when you were operating at a lower frequency. Abundance is going to flow because you've finally cleared the blockage that was preventing it. And all of that is happening not because you're chasing it, not because you're forcing it, not because you're desperately seeking it, but because you've become it. You've embodied the peace you were seeking. You've activated the power that was always within you. You've aligned with the purpose you were born to fulfill. So keep walking, chosen one. Keep rising. Keep shining. Keep being the magnificent force of nature you were created to be. Your vindication is complete. Your victory is sealed. Your new beginning is here, and nothing from your past can touch the glory